Yo guys, what is up? It's Teach here, coming at you again with another video over on Ark Survival Ascended, and I wanted to show you the best cave that you can use in order to get really good high-end loot inside of Ark Survival Ascended, specifically on the island map. Now, loot can be very hard to come by. If you happen to have a sea creature, some of the loot underwater can be a little technically higher, but not as common. This cave right here is guaranteed at least 3 supply drops every time you run it. You usually get at least 1 red, a yellow, and then a blue/red combo. And then usually if no one's hit it recently, it'll respawn instantaneously, so you can get up to 6 per run, which is super useful. So up to 6 loot crates per run. Statistically, you're going to get a lot of loot. I mean, that's just how it works, right? I got just opened 1 on the inside just to see, right? Because you get increased loot from these things. And you can see I got some pretty nuts loot right off the bat. And that's it. So that's all you have to do. Now, in order to run this loot cave, you have to have a gas mask, because that is that. Or you can use 3 separate scuba pieces, and that will also get through this cave. It is a very dangerous cave to run, by the way, because there's a lot of bugs and stuff like that that spawn in here. However, I did just clear it, so there might not be any when we go in. I'm just going to show you the best way to get the loot in here. So just so you can see, by the way, the chords, this is it on the map. It's in the middle of the Redwoods Forest at 64.8, 35.1, and there's a few kind of tricks to this little cave, and it's super easy. It did change a little bit from Ark Survival Evolved, because they got rid of some of the cheat pathway that you're allowed to use, so you have to do the thing legit. So if you don't mind, smash that like button, leave a comment below for your algorithm, and consider subbing to the channel. I'm starting to creep towards 100K. It's kind of been my dream all along, so if you don't mind helping me on that way, that would be awesome. All right, so what do we do, right? So you can do what I'm doing and go into third-person mode as we're going through this, but I really recommend you do this in first-person mode, because it's a lot better and it's a lot easier to see what's actually going on, right? So as soon as you hit that first corner, you can take gas damage, so make sure you do have a mask on. Now, if you didn't know this, you can also run through this cave really quickly with this thing and basically slot cap yourself on berries instantaneously. This is 1x, by the way, and I just in 2 swings, I got that much. It's kind of really broken, but I'll make the different thing. That's not what this is about. So first off, what you're going to do is you're going to get in this cave. You see the 2 mushrooms. You've got a little bit to actually get down this cave before things get really dangerous. It's usually around these corners and these tight spaces here. You're going to have a whole bunch of different types of bugs and stuff like that. And basically, because the Megapithecus is the best one for this specific cave, he has a knockback attack. So though things are going to do damage to you, you want to continue to knock them back with his primary hit. Just continue to swing, right? Do not accidentally hit your secondary attack, because you'll launch yourself. But there are a ton of bugs down here, so do not do this on foot unless you there's a ton of bugs. It's not even funny. But this is kind of, I literally just cleared this out, so that's why there's nothing here. So continue down, and you're going to keep going until you kind of hit a larger open room. You can see it right here, right? So you've got this little red option to the left, and then this is kind of like your main entrance, main room area, just so you can kind of see that. Immediately take your left, because this is where you're going to find your yellow crates. And this is it's really easy to find them, actually. So you just get into this big room, right? You can see there's one right up there. And then sometimes if you run around this room a little bit, you'll actually find a few of them. They kind of spawn in funky, tricky locations. It looks like it's none right here. But that's actually where you find another loot crate behind me. So we're going to go ahead and head up to this one right up here. So you just get to this area. And we're going to just follow the pathway, right? And this is the easiest one. Ooh, looks like we got a double. Nice. So anyways, yeah, so you can get one in this little pathway. I'm going to go ahead and pull this guy right here, and you can see it overlooks that. And then if you don't find one right here, there's almost always the yellow one next to it, which is right over here. This guy, and you're going to pop that one. And you can see that already there's some really good loot. You're pretty much guaranteed to get, because they reworked the entire loot system, you're all but guaranteed to get higher level loot and actually useful loot. You're not going to get any shenanigans, which kind of is the nice way to put it. All right, so now what you can do is you got 2 options, right? You go back into this room that we just came out of for those yellow drops, which are right up there. And there's a small area right over here where you cannot bring your Megapithecus in. However, you can walk. Now, be careful, because again, there's some things in here that will kill you. So what the safest thing is to do is get right up to this with the Gigantopithecus, sorry, and then keep swinging until you actually can kill everything in here. Now, there is another way over there to get down here, but I just use this one. So again, you can see what I'm talking about, right? So we've got some pretty good stuff. You see the Explorer note that I accidentally just went over. And then we're going to continue to crouch here. So again, normally this is filled with bugs, but I did just clean it, and that's why there's nothing here. So we're going to go ahead and go this way. And then now that we've kind of shown you the basics of this cave, you can see, I can kind of show you what I'm talking about. So if you go back this direction, so that's the direction that the yellow spawns were. So we've got those yellow spawns, we've got the blue. And if you continue this way, you will run into the red drops. So there are 2 locations where they can spawn. This is the one location, as you can see it right here, right? Super fancy, pretty, easy to access. And then the other one is up on that little ledge up there. I'm going to go ahead and run and grab it. And that is the 2. Now, again, there will be leeches in this cave, so make sure you're careful of that. So swing away, and you should be just fine. That's actually really good. Is that a blueprint, too? I need to see that. Need to genuinely see what that was. They were blueprints. That's really nice. Holy crap. That's really cool. So anyways, this is the last one. This is the red blueprint. And yeah, you can just pop that one. You can see that's got some more blueprints as well. That's a really good riot headpiece. Holy crap. That's really nice. 550 damage. Cool. And that's it. Now, as long as you're in here, you can grab the artifact. It's entirely up to you. It's up the little pathway. But if you just were looking for the loot, that's how you kind of do that whole run of this entire thing. And that's all you have to do. If you wanted to get a hold of the actual artifact in here, you would just continue up this pathway right here. And you continue to run. I was like, I think you can get the entire way up with this guy, but I'm not sure if I remember correctly. Maybe you can't. Maybe they changed that a little bit. So be careful about getting off this thing when it's in the ceiling, because you can technically get stuck in the ceiling, and that's never a fun thing. Like he did right here. Are you serious? You really get me stuck in the ceiling. I think I've done it. Oop, there's the angle. Got it. So, really, you're just going to continue to eat this stuff. Lovely. So yeah, so if you just run up this pathway, I'm not going to... Oh my goodness, seriously, dude? Thank you. All right, so you just continue to run upwards, and you will end up getting to, you can see it right here, and this is your artifact of the immune. I'm not going to get it because I don't feel like it, but I think I also have one. But that's all you got to do. And in order to get out of this cave, the safest thing, once you get the artifact of the immune, what you do is you just continue to run down this cave area, and you will end up, so I guess you can do the entire thing with the Megapithecus. That's pretty cool. You just continue to run down this and then go uphill. That's the easiest way out of the cave in order to get the loot and run. You don't need to get that artifact, but as long as you're down here, usually it's a good idea. And right now you can see how easy it would be to get an insane amount of berries. And I'll make a separate video about that. But don't go up that way. Go left right here at the mushroom. You end up back in our regular area, right? You know, we should kind of recognize where you are right now. If not, you know, you should probably pay attention more. And yeah, just take a swing so you can see how many berries you get with one swing. It's kind of crazy. Yeah, you can come out of this thing with a stupid amount of berries, and then keep going uphill. That's all you got to do in order to get out of this cave. And the gas mask, by the way, only lasts for 20 minutes, so make sure you're aware of that fact. And that's it. Still going uphill. And once we get out of the cave, we're good to go. We have everything, the loot in our inventory. And just track this exact pathway that I took, and that's how you get out of the cave here. And again, you see that render, and boom, we are out of the cave. So easy as pie, right? Not too shabby. And just so you can see, he got a bunch of berries with just 2 swings, and yeah, that's some really good basic loot for not even, what, 10 minutes? Yeah, so this thing will reset every 30 minutes or so. And then also sometimes if you leave render range like we just did, it'll immediately reset. So you have loot waiting for you to go back in immediately. And if you've cleaned it out and you've done all the work of killing all the bugs, that is probably the best thing you can do. So hopefully this video helps you out. Teach out.